What's going on, you guys? I just wanted to come and check back in. A lot has happened since the last time I checked in. I think I was recording earlier at around 8:30 because I had ordered breakfast. Anyway, AAA has came to replace the battery. The battery on their truck it didn't start the car right over. So he was reluctant to sell me that battery, which I appreciate, because most people like that in that line of business, especially if they new to it. He been doing it for 17 years. They'll sell it to you anyway. They won't go through the extent that he did, and he offered to put the battery. So all right, let me rewind. I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Dude was flirting with me the entire time. For one, it was it was funny, but come to find out, we was just talking and stuff to her. You know, his story, where he's from. He's from Utah. His dad had a horse farm, you know what I'm saying? He worked down in West Palm Springs. He's an artist. So he was showing me some of his art or whatever. He was like, hold on, let me go through and make sure ain't nothing in here. He said, because you know, us guys, the guys tend to have some stuff in their phone that they don't want nobody to see. I was like, some girls do too. And he was like, shoot, I ain't ran. I said some girls do too. And he's like, well, I ain't ran into one yet. He talking about trying to find a sugar mama. And I'm catching your vibe that you flirting a little bit, man. You way older than me, and I'm not interested. But anyway, his art is nice. He does a glass engraving. It's dope. Oh my God, it's nice. And he said the only thing art-wise that he hasn't really done yet is paint. So he's like, it's on his docket to do. So it was just interesting and nice to chop it up with him, even though, you know, he was flirting or whatever. I didn't take it no kind of way. It's just good conversation, and that kind of, you know, helps start the conversation, make the conversation interesting. But anyway, the battery on his truck, on the back of his truck for the car, had to been, he think it had been sitting for a while, at least 2 to 3 months. So it didn't turn the car over. So what we did was he took that battery out, put the battery that was already in there back in, gave me a jump. He followed, he didn't follow me. He actually was ahead of me, but he ended up going to the AutoZone where they put the battery in, but he stayed out there. He was nice enough to stay out there, and until the guy was pretty much, the AutoZone employee was pretty much done with putting the battery in, and I appreciate that so much. And I sent him a thank you note, because he offered to, if they didn't do it, at least buy the battery and he'll put it in. So that's why he had went up there with me as well. And it was nice. It's a blessing. And again, I'm very appreciative of it. And then the gentleman that put the battery in at AutoZone, chopping it up with him, you know, talking with him, and you know, just talking about cars a little bit. Got his mechanic's license and stuff like that. And I was like, it's like, how you do it? Like, do you go? He's like, I went to school for it. I'm like, I know that, but like, did you go to MIT? Like, what school did you go to get an auto mechanic's license? Kind of found out he's from Puerto Rico. He ended up here only because of the hurricane. And I'm like, yeah, say less. I completely understand that. So huge shout out to them. I'm so grateful for them. and you know, was able to give the AutoZone employee a tip. My AAA man's, he pulled off before I could, you know, divvy anything off to him. You know, so that's why I had sent him the message to make sure he knew that it was greatly appreciated. And I feel like his tip was in being able to flirt with me a little bit, but it's all love, it's all good, because it didn't come off in any bad way, like, you know, how some guys come off and they're like really pushy with how they're trying to flirt with you. His was very slick, very sly, you know what I'm saying? So you can tell he got some game. He got a little game in his back pocket for the ladies that are on his mutual level. But he said something that kinda, I'm like, yo, huh? So for one, he said my name. I feel like he said my name, but I don't think he did, because he asked me what my name was when we was exchanging contact information. So I knew, that's how I knew it's like this has been my saying for like since yesterday, right? Everything is as it's supposed to be. And I got that, you know, that came in my mind when I had got word that the car didn't start because of the battery, in order for my family to drive it to the airport. So I'm like, damn. Even with, you know, I had it wasn't bad, but I had a phone call that, you know, could have been spiraled in the wrong direction. But again, at the same time, I was getting that text message as well as the end of that phone call, and what popped in my head is everything is as it's supposed to be. So that's how I feel. And he said something. He said he get premonitions of where he could see into the future. And I'm like, because he said Bob somebody, I forgot, Bob somebody, he got to see in the past or something like that. I was like, oh my God. But it was a little sly, because yeah, I was like, okay, what you mean by that? And why are you saying that? But everything is as it's supposed to be. But yeah, push come to shove, batteries changed. I done been in the pool. I done been back in the shower. I'm not getting back in the pool. That's my second time getting in the pool. This time my skin. So this morning I got in the pool right on the wake up, it was a beautiful thing to be able to experience. But I got in the pool on the wake up, and I only went like waist deep to where my legs were the only thing that got wet, and my legs were fine. They really didn't itch or bother me. But the second time I got in the water, I got neck high. I'm not trying to get my hair wet. And I was working on some kicks. I was, you know, pretty much like working out in the pool essentially. But when I got out, my skin started to react to the chlorine. So I don't think I'm gonna get back in. But took a shower. My skin's not itching right now. Got it oiled up. He mentioned my bicep and everything, and I was like, let me go get my wallet, my bag, and then put a shirt on. He's like, you don't need a shirt. I'm like, yo, thank you. I appreciate it. And then he just made the conversation hella, just interesting. Okay, all right. What else? So, and I'm sleepy now, man. I done got tired from being in the pool, and then it's hot. Oh my God, it's hot as hell. Let me see what the temperature is. Like, it's hot right now. And it's only 153. It's 80. No, it's Atlanta. It's 94 degrees, 94, 95 degrees. That's the high for today. And then we start dropping off. By 9 o'clock, it'll be 83. 6 o'clock, still in 92. But yeah, I'm gonna finish doing some edits on my right. I've been listening to music, just vibing out, man, just enjoying the peace of mind, and you know, just sitting in the fact that everything is as it's supposed to be. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, everything is as it's supposed to be. And it's hard to accept that fact sometimes when you feel like the chips are down against you. But that, because like, you know, with this whole situation, I'm out of town. You know what I'm saying? I'm helping out my extended family with this. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, you know, I'm not in control of the process, and I don't have any hands in it. I'm just kind of along for the journey, for the ride, and everything is as it's supposed to be. And it's working in my favor, and not just in a favor of good either. That's why I said whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, everything is as it's supposed to be. So, you know, you could be panicking. I'm literally 1,000 miles away from my comfort zone, as far as like where I know where everything is. I know how to maneuver around the city without any transportation. I'm used to the heat pretty much there, where, you know, back in Kentucky, I'm acclimated to the weather in Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? I got my cars there. I got family there that I can call and be like, hey, can I get a ride here and a ride there? Here, I don't have, you know, had it here. So I'm in Florida. I don't have family here. But just trusting and having faith that everything is as it's supposed to be. Everything is going to work out in the end for the betterment and the good of myself, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. Plus, right, with this stuff, because I was going to leave out this morning, but finding out that the battery was down, which I was cool with leaving out tomorrow morning, but I dodged the storm. Because if I left out this morning, the storm, I would have hit the storm. I would have met the storm that is crossing Atlanta, or crossed Atlanta. So tomorrow, going up to Atlanta and Tennessee, going through Atlanta and Tennessee, the weather is clear. It's not going to rain. So everything happens, or everything is as it's supposed to be. Everything happened as it should. Plus, I didn't need to be driving, getting off a 11 o'clock flight. Could I have done it? Absolutely. But it was just nice to not have to. What else? And then, yeah, so with the battery thing and being here and pretty much being hands off. Yeah, it's in my pocket. So I had to be hands off. So if I was back home, I could have replaced my own battery. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. So I had to be off, hands off. So I'm in a situation that I'm normally not in. I'm not used to. I'm always having to do for myself. So it's nice not to have to, but be able to still be there and be a support to the person that is helping me out. And that's at least giving them conversation and being out in the heat with them, and not being like that passenger princess, like, nah, I can't get my hands dirty, I don't want to sweat kind of person. Like, nah, it's all on you. So yeah, everything is as it's supposed to be. Remember that. Everything is as it's supposed to be, regardless of it's good, bad, or indifferent. Or I don't want to say bad, because nothing's ever bad, but good, whatever the case may be. Okay? So, peace. What do I do? Peace out.